we're back.
I guess we know who's firing off the deuce.
Do vampires procreate with other vampires?
Nope.
No, because you have to invite them to come inside.
Oh. Saying it, Stroker.
You've been saying stroker?
Yeah.
Oh, taps.
Oh.
Not pap spears. Spears.
Tap spears.
That sounds horrendous.
If you are looking for a dead serious podcast with dry, humorless people, I'm afraid you are in the wrong place. This is Midnight Hollow, and we will dive into some weird, creepy, and downright strange stories with a twist of humor, bad puns, and a whole lot of laughs. So sit back and enjoy the podcast.
And we're back.
I guess we know who's firing off the deuce. We're dropping the deuce. This is season 2 of Midnight Hollow, and sorry for the delay in episodes. It's been how long now? What, 2 or 3 months?
Since
maybe?
Halloween.
Like 5 years.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Halloween was our last one, and the debacle with fucking Facebook.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's really funny because you posted your blog article for last week to Facebook, and it pulled up the image from the Halloween episode that you were trying to get on.
I think me and Nikki worked on it for 45 minutes. Couldn't get it to work. Now all of a sudden it's on every single thing that we post. In this episode, we're going to talk about vampires because they suck. And yes, Nikki, I'm going to continue with the
same pun.
Yeah, same pun over and over again.
Never gets
So
old.
the same as every other episode.
Right. We have a couple articles we're going to go over. One happens to be, I got to scroll. Here we go. What would be a Midnight Hollow episode without Loch Ness? Mm-hmm. So we have new breaking news footage.
New news.
And
Sorry.
I'll leave the suspense to the end there. Then we also have something that's been on Midnight Hollow for about a week. Allegedly, some man found an 8mm film in his attic, and it's really fucking creepy. Whether it's real or not, it's really creepy. Mm-hmm. Then kind of to go with the vampire thing, you have 8,000-year-old heads on stakes, like Vlad the Impaler.
On a stake.
Yeah, they used to call me Zippy the Impaler in college. And gross. And then, of course, we always have our wonderful ending article. And thanks to Nikki, we found that we've talked about ghost sex before, but evidently this is something that's for reals. So we'll talk a little bit about that at the end.
Bobby Brown.
Yeah. Where my white bitch is.
So, yeah, that's not actually what he said, though.
Well, I mean, ghosts are white, so where my white bitch is at.
But I think I said that, and then we were like, wait, that's not even...
How do you know there aren't any black ghosts? There's black apparitions.
Don't be racist, Lisa.
Black? I'm not.
Already,
like
we're what,
shadowy.
5 minutes in, and she's already...
Bobby Brown had sex with a ghost?
Yep.
Yeah.
So guys can do it too?
Yeah.
Evidently.
All right.
We thought it was like all the drugs that was maybe making him have sex with ghosts. And we're like, maybe it was just a lot of drugs. But apparently, so common.
It is.
And not just to people on crack.
All right, so let's introduce the quad here. Because it's not the trio, the quattro. The quad.
We'll figure out something.
Yeah, your Spanish is...
There's got to be...
Yeah, I can barely speak English. To my left, I have Nikki. How you doing today, Nikki?
I'm okay.
All right, that's compelling. To my right, I have Lisa. How you doing, Lisa?
How you doing, Jim?
There we go. Okay. Throwing out a little Joey Tribbiani. Yeah. And then we have a noob.
It's me.
Johnny. How you doing today, Johnny?
I'm good.
Got to think up a nickname for you. It could be Johnny B. Oh, that's Johnny B. Good. That's kind of weird.
Johnny on the spot.
Johnny on the spot.
Ew.
Why is that dirty right away?
Have you listened to the
I said
show?
Johnny on the spot. I didn't say Johnny on the spot.
That's it's
And
just
now
as
you
bad. I don't think it got worse.
Remember you liked the show and you knew there was 25 episodes to a season? You're like, yes. That was like 10. You get
it is
fucked
10 now.
Yeah. In like 5 years, it'll be like 2.
Yeah.
2 episodes.
Just
2 1-hour episodes.
Or 2 4-hour
And we have to
episodes.
wait 3 years till the next season comes out.
I know.
We should do 13, just because it's spooky.
Okay. Before we begin, John, are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
Because I heard you coughing earlier before.
Oh, stop it, no.
He stole my pun. I was told him my pun.
What?
Coffin.
Coffin.
Walk on a
Coffin.
bag of dirty balls.
Yeah.
There
There
it
we
is.
go.
There it
Thank you
is.
very much. Thank you very much.
Aw.
Are
Are we
I'm
gonna
feeling a
edit that
little
closer?
sucky.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, we're going to talk about vampires, and there's lots to it. You think, oh yeah, that's vampires, but when you start digging into it, there's a ton of different shit. First thing I'm going to do is ask everyone, where do you think? It's kind of a two-pronged question. Where do you think vampires began via legend?
Two-fanged.
And oh yes,
Yes.
two-fanged approach to this. Where do you think vampires began legendary, and where do you think they kind of began in regards to things happening in the real world and people are associating?
Wordle just killed me. It's my
I swear to
favorite
God, Mucinex
Pokemon.
does not work. I'm dying over here. So we'll start with
Are
Lisa.
we okay? Sorry. Are we all okay?
In your opinion, what do you think? Either one, legendary or real world application. Where do you think vampirism started?
Vlad the Impaler.
So the legend came from that. Now, Bram
Bram
Stoker.
His full name is
Stoker?
actually Abraham,
Stroker.
but he didn't like that.
Yeah, Bram is much easier to pronounce.
Yeah. Not only that, Abraham is not necessarily like a.
A lady killer.
Yeah, I know.
To your sound.
She just did.
I accidentally pushed it. That's what she said.
That's what she said for the season.
Oh,
Good job, Lisa.
drink.
Yes, that's part of
This
our
is the
drinking game that
drink
Nikki's
game.
going to create.
Wipe my forehead.
Coming
Yeah, you
soon.
should.
I only got one hand, so.
So the
That sounds
Bram,
dirty.
Bram.
I've only got one hand.
the Bram
The other one's
Stroker.
busy.
The Bram Stroker.
All the vampire porn.
That was like
the
early-
erotica
It was like
novels.
1905, 1910 or something like that.
It started with a C, didn't it? That female erotica vampire novel. It was written at the same time as Frankenstein.
You're acting like you don't know it, but you know.
Is it Camille? Camilla? There's a name
Clitoris? I
for
have no
it.
idea.
No,
Never,
I'm gonna look it
never
up.
heard of it.
That's what you think. Do you think that's the real world application? Like he was a vampire and he stuck tons of heads on stakes? And...
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Yes.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
That pretty much sums it up.
All right. What about you, Johnny? What do you think
Need a real dark
vampirism
side.
started?
I don't know. I would probably say something with religion because all crazy things seem to start with that.
It's true. And the cross is a major part of the lore.
Yeah.
Crucifix.
Well, you know, back then people didn't really know much science stuff, so
That was an explanation of something they didn't understand.
yeah, exactly. People dying, it's got to be somebody running around with blood-sucking teeth.
You mentioned that there is a big part of the real world type of thing they were blaming on kids' infant deaths on vampires. Yep. And that's before vampires were really just the bloodsuckers. They would come in and eat your baby,
Why?
eat the baby's soul.
Why the baby?
I don't know. It was always the baby, though.
Is it because it's fresher?
I think it's like life force.
Yeah.
Like they have so many years, so you're like stealing the years.
And it's the innocence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stealing the innocence. Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Nikki?
So it is Carmilla, by the way.
Carmilla.
And it is a goth novella by Irish author Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu, and one of the early works of vampire fiction, predating Bram Stoker's Dracula by 26 years.
Damn. This
And
was word porn?
It was for the time, because I believe it was like a Victorian novel. And it was girl on girl. Because,
Whoa.
yeah, so it was like crazy back then.
That would be really crazy back then.
I haven't read it yet. It's been on my reading list and nowhere ever has it because it's ancient and no one wants to read it now. I love Dracula, though.
Fun fact, I've been saying Bram Stoker wrong for like the last 15 years of my
How
life.
are you supposed to say it?
It's Bram Stoker.
Yeah, I know. I've been saying it Stroker.
You've been saying Stroker?
Yes.
Oh
I have
my
too, just because it's funny.
God.
Whoops.
Oh, that was another drink. It's like when you mispronounce something wrong over and over again the entire show, that's a drink.
People will be dead. He'd be dead by
Pretty
the
much.
10th minute.
That's why it's
We'll
a
just
sip.
have
It's not
entire
a shot.
episode dubbed in Spanish.
El chupachanga.
I heard about your,
Yeah.
your chupacabra pronunciations.
I'm not even going to try it. Not even going to try it. See, my ideas behind the whole vampire thing was Lilith.
Oh, yes.
So Lilith, if you didn't
My
know, is
favorite.
actually the first female on the planet. It was Adam and Lilith.
Oh, not like Lilith Fair.
No.
That's what I was
Though,
thinking
looking
too.
at a couple of those butches, I would say yes, they would probably be vampiric.
Trigger.
They'd suck the life right out of you.
Is
That kind of stuff just makes me batty.
Is
I stole that from Lisa.
Is vampiric a word?
Yes.
It is now.
With a Y.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow. My word knowledge is just exploding this episode.
Let's just keep it the word knowledge, okay?
Sorry.
Yeah, so Lilith was actually the first female on the planet, and she didn't want Adam's shit. She just didn't want to deal with him. So she took off, and the angels decided to say, well, what the fuck? Get back here. You know, you guys got to start doing your stuff and make babies. And she told them to go eat a dick. And the angel
she
said,
did.
okay, well,
Sorry.
we're going to kill 100 angels or something of that nature, one every day for 100 days until you come back. And she didn't come back. So a lot of these angels were her friends.
So my goal for 2019.
So some of these angels were her friends. So she got mad and she decided in turn she was going to kill babies. And then God created Eve. And then they started doing it. And when they were shooting out kids, she would go and kill them. So that was the start of the...
What a dirty bitch.
Yeah, she
The
was.
baby
It was
killing.
baby killing and how it kind of translated into vampires. The vampires weren't the suckers. They were more these mystical things that crept into your kid's room and killed them.
The Dinklage baby.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I want to almost say like the real application and the legend kind of happened. Like, because people didn't know why their babies were dying. They would say it's Lilith, or it goes by different names throughout all history and different cultures and stuff, but it all kind of based around her.
Isn't there like a the Mexican one, the Weeping Woman?
Oh God, yes.
And that's
yes.
like going to be a movie like within the next couple months, I think.
Well, any
Oh yes, I've heard of this.
any of the like Supernatural, Buffy, any of those all have an episode on the woman in white. They also call her.
Yeah.
She's always in white
Why has it got to be white?
because they're always racist.
Mm-hmm.
Racist bastards. I guess the next step in this is, what do you think? What is your favorite movies? Your vampire movies? Like, pick one. Everyone, pick one.
Pick one?
Pick one or two. One or two.
So Interview with a Vampire is great.
The porn one's good too. Intercourse with a Vampire.
Oh, is that?
It's fine.
Is Kirsten Dunst in that one too?
I wouldn't doubt it. 'cause
Except
her
maybe
career's
not like
really
8
taken
years
off.
old.
Oh, she was?
She was really small in Interview
Yeah,
with a
it
Oh
was
Vampire.
God, no. I don't think she
Her
was.
first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was phenomenal too for like being 8 years old.
I've seen that movie, but I just don't remember a lot about it.
Oh, it's good. Brad Pitt?
Yeah, he was
So
good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
As
Who else
she's
was
sipping
in
her
there?
water.
Wait,
Yeah,
how long are
baby.
we talking about here? I
Um,
thought you said like Kristen, she was like really young, so how old was Brad Pitt?
He was younger too.
yeah,
He
he
was
was
in the
like in
early
his
20s.
20s.
Yeah.
It was one of his first films too.
I'm just wondering if you.
Who's
Robbing
the
Cradle?
other one?
Tom
Who's
Cruise.
Lestat?
Why would I be robbing the
Was there Tom
cradle?
Cruise in there?
Mm.
He's like 20 years older than me.
Was it?
That was Tom Cruise.
Let me see.
In what?
We're gonna look it up.
Intercourse with a Vampire.
Tom Cruise.
See, one of my favorite vampire movies is Lost Boys.
We actually
Boys.
do read things before this, even though the entire time we're like, "Who was it?" What did we do?
We all have ADHD at some level.
Mhm.
This is also the end of the day on a Thursday, and
Yeah.
we're
Been a
pretty
long
much
week.
fried.
It is Tom Cruise. Christian Slater's in it too, just by the way.
And
And it was a good
Intercourse
movie?
one?
Yeah, he's the interviewer, the intercourse.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The Intercourser.
Sorry.
Sound like Lost Boys, but I watched it like maybe a year ago, and it doesn't translate well to now because it was very 80s. Like,
To adulthood.
yeah.
Yeah.
I watch it and I'm like, that's cool. Like, that's how vampires would be nowadays if they were
Mm-hmm.
before all the other shows and all that came out. And then I watched it like a year or so ago. And I'm like, yeah, no, not digging it.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I'm just like, what about you, Johnny? What's your favorite vampire movie?
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe Blade. Remember that?
Kind of a blade.
With Wesley Snipes. Not to be confused with Wesley Pipes.
All the porn versions of these. We'll link them up in the description.
I mean, what would you name Blade as a porn movie, though? Blade.
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 Blade. Be-Laid.
Yeah, but that whole like series, it was all right. It was all right.
It was fun.
Was it just called Blade, or was it called Blade Vampire Hunter?
I think it was just called Blade, maybe.
Now, the question is, was Blade a damn fear?
A damn fear?
A damn fear is half human, half vampires, and they were bred to kill vampires.
Bread?
Bred.
Yeah, technically, I guess. No, he was like a day walker. Is it the same thing? Human ones?
Could be, but
right,
damn fears
because
have
humans
the
can
same-
walk.
They have the
I
same.
thought you were saying like a damn fear.
No, DAMPHYR, a damn fear.
Oh. Okay.
They were bred to go after vampires.
Oh,
Blood
what-
Rain is one.
No, it's another good one.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know the name, but I know what you're thinking right now.
I'm thinking it too, and I was hoping
With
that
the
somebody
woman.
would- Yes.
Yes.
Yes. What
the woman is the
Blood Rain?
vampire
What is it?
hunter.
Blood Rain?
Blood Rain.
That was a great video game. She was a damn fear, and she would hunt. She was bred to hunt vampires.
That's
Is
super.
it?
That super hot chick.
Oh, that narrows it down.
Is it the same? No, it's not her. I was going to say the same person as...
So, Lisa?
I guess I have to go with the obligatory Twilight mention.
See, I wasn't going to embarrass you at all with anything. With
I
that.
honestly have not seen a lot of vampire movies.
No, not high on your list?
I was not allowed to watch them, any of that stuff growing up.
I don't see
Very
why not, though.
conservative family I had, so.
But usually, like, the Bible thumpers would go after him and kill him, and yay!
I
and
know,
they
weird,
win the
right?
day. So you'd be like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So are you
I
team?
forgot to
Jesus.
mention my absolute favorite movie of all time, and now I'm disgraced, because my favorite movie ever is Nosferatu.
Mm.
That is a really good movie.
Both the 1920 and the 1940 versions.
Isn't
in
that the one
1940,
with the
it was in
creepy
1920.
looking dude in the 1920s?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like
And the
with ugly
1920s is silent, I think.
See,
I
the
Am
1940,
Legend.
not the
I Am
1920.
Legend is really good. That's a vampire movie, isn't it?
High Legend?
I Am Legend.
stick.
Will
Will
Smith.
Smith?
Mhm.
Is that,
I thought that
isn't
was
kind of
a
like
robot
zombie-ish? No, that's
No,
iRobot.
iRobot, yeah.
Oh.
I'm Legend's
Oh
the
my
one where like
gosh.
he's the only one left in the world. Well, he's not the. It turns out. Well, spoiler alert.
Oh, spoilers.
Oh, man. Come on.
So are you Team Edward or are you Team Jacob?
Oh, the real question.
I was always Team Edward. I know Anna, wherever
Of
she
course
is
you were.
going to spite me. But yes, I was Team Edward.
Now, I want you to unveil the knowledge that you unveiled on me. Please.
About Edward?
Yes.
You're going to push it this far?
Yep. Well, I wasn't even going to bring it up. You brought it up, so I'm going to...
What brought up the fact I watched Twilight, not that I was dragged to a midnight DVD release party
Here you go.
That's great.
and
Drag.
stood in line
Wow.
for
We're
like
talking about
3.5 hours
Going 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
for
in the
that.
rain for a stupid overpriced DVD. Oh, and then I went to this release party and played all these games with all these 8-year-olds because everyone wants the DVD. Turns out it was full price. They didn't even mark it down. So I paid $22 for it, and it was on sale at Target the next day
Oh
for
my God.
$14.99. I was so pissed.
The
I think she's avoiding the knowledge.
And then I went with my friend who got up to the cash wrap and was like, $22 is a lot of money. I don't think I want to buy it. And I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious right
She's
now?
bringing out the backhand at that point.
Wow. The truth comes out.
And
You
I
ask
felt-
her favorite movie, and she's like, "Oh, I guess Twilight." And now she goes into it, and it's like the truth.
We all do weird stuff in college, John.
Yeah.
Some of us.
I didn't realize how many vampire movies I actually like until I started thinking about it, and now I'm like, oh,
I've watched a lot.
like
Shows, too.
Van Helsing.
Didn't
From
like
Dusk
that
Till
movie.
Dawn.
Oh, that was a great one.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, that was an amazing one. I want the knowledge, Lisa.
What?
Oh,
give
did
our
that
listeners
one-
the knowledge.
That's the knowledge you were talking about?
Yes,
so
I
I
want-
didn't have to tell that story about the
No,
DVD release?
I need that knowledge. The knowledge
Whoops.
that you dropped on me that I didn't believe, and you sent me
Oh.
the article.
So Robert Pattinson is distantly related to Vlad the Impaler.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, right. And she said, Marilyn? He is.
From a legit source
Yes.
that won't cause a virus on your computer.
It wasn't like JoJoVampiresRUs.com or anything.
Ooh, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
I've
Oh, yeah.
heard about this.
That's a great
too.
movie, actually. I've seen that movie.
Have you?
Yep.
Wasn't there one they did with Pride? Oh, it was Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. That doesn't have vampires in it. Sorry. I was thinking because it was the same director.
What
That
is
one,
that
I believe.
one we were thinking
I
about?
found her name, but I cannot figure out what movie she's in.
Underworld.
Yes.
Her
Hey,
name
Kate
is
hey.
Beckinsale.
Colleen.
Hello,
But
Kate
that's
Beckinsale.
werewolves, isn't it? It's not.
No, she's
No,
vampires.
it's-
It's
Yeah, I
vampires
just-
versus werewolves.
I just googled vampire movies.
And then
got
they
up a
have
list.
guns, and they had the bullets
Yes.
with holy water or silver bits in
Yeah.
it and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's first and second were good. Then after that, they went to shit.
Have you seen Nick Cage in The Vampire Kiss? Or Vampire's Kiss? No,
No.
Anything
Nick
with Lady
Cage.
Bathory,
No.
I like.
Lady Bathory?
Yeah, she's the one who like was bathing in tubs of blood, and her handmaids would go missing, and everyone would send like their daughters to like wait on her,
Jesus.
and then she killed. It's like a real woman, and
She was, yes.
she would bathe in their blood.
Yeah, they say that was the first,
Female
besides the whole
serial
Lilith thing,
killer.
the first female
Mhm.
serial killer thing. So, little trivia, who was the first known vampire in America?
America.
America.
That was a woman too, wasn't it?
Sure was.
And it started with an R. I want to say Robin, but I don't think that's right.
Good artist, though. She hasn't been around for a while, Robin.
Oh, I was just listening
Oh my God,
to
I
one
love
of her
her.
songs.
Yeah.
I like Robin.
I like
Is she
her too.
Canadian?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have
Sorry,
no idea
that-
what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's different.
That's
It's
where
not
this
vampires.
podcast usually ends up. It goes all over the place. Yeah, it was obviously into the Northeast, and they had
Tuberculosis.
tuberculosis.
Tuberculofibrosis.
Can someone say it?
Tuberculosis.
All right, thank you. She had that, so she died, and it was actually rampant in that area, and she had that, but it was during the winter, so they couldn't bury her because the ground was frozen, so they just kind of left her in a barn, and for whatever
holding
reason,
facility.
her tuberculosis, tuberculosis, like I'm
Sound like
hooked on
you're
phonics.
barfing.
It does stuff to your body. It was explaining, and it like after you die, it starts to bloat.
Mhm.
So it looked like she was feeding on other people, like oh, she gets up at night even though she's dead, and she feeds on people and comes back, and they're finding people missing, and all these things came all together to the fact that she's the vampire.
Yeah.
So what did they do?
Wasn't she frozen too, or like real? Wasn't it? You said winter, right?
Mhm.
Wasn't it winter? So they thought, she didn't decay. So
Right, exactly, and that was of course us
Yeah.
today would know that, but then back like, oh my God, she's still
Fresh.
like
She's a
fresh, and her
freshie.
nails were growing, and her hair was growing,
Yeah.
and there was like blood that kept coming into her mouth because of
The
all
bloating.
the stuff that's happening.
all the tuberculosis.
So tuberculosis.
Oh, John, I'm so glad you're here.
And so what they did is they ended up cutting off her head and taking out her,
Ugh.
I think, heart, lungs, and liver.
Sounds like a likely solution.
Dried them out,
Mm.
cooked them up, crushed them, put them into a tonic, and gave it to her brother who just got tuberculosis. Said, this will cure you. So the dude is drinking his dead sister's organs to try and save his life.
Weird.
And he knew he was doing this.
Yep.
Did it
That's
work?
kinky.
No, died a month later. Yeah, it's
Didn't
pretty
her
crazy.
entire family die of tuberculosis as well?
Except the father, and the father took off to like Colorado or some shit, like not even in the standard U.S. at the time. He just took off.
Colorado.
I guess
The
I would too,
non-purchased states.
Yeah.
because you get around people like, yeah, his daughter was a vampire. Maybe he's a vampire. Like he was getting harassed and stuff, so he just took off. I don't know what happened to him. They didn't talk about him, or I haven't read much about him, but he probably ended up dying on the tuberculosis too.
Yeah. Or anything else back then that you die of.
Right.
Paper cut.
Right.
Syphilis.
Well, it's not the Oregon Trail. You get exhaustion and you're dead the next.
Dysentery.
That was the big one.
Scurvy.
I don't know. Syphilis was pretty big too.
It's just
Like all went silent after syphilis.
We just
We're all
all
like,
go
oh,
quiet,
yeah.
like, yeah?
It's one of my favorites.
Oh man, it's good to be back.
Yep.
So I guess there is 4 types of vampires.
Can vampires procreate with other vampires?
Nope.
So
So
they
you
gotta
get pregnant,
do it.
shoot out
No,
dust.
because you have to invite them to come inside.
Oh, my puns look terrible now.
Yep.
Yeah, they
That was
always
a fucking
were.
great one. Damn it. She always outpuns me.
It's my job. I missed that one.
Timely too. Much
Mhm.
better than my.
Timing? Yeah,
Yeah.
we've heard.
Wow.
Tell you, my nickname's Zippy. What are you not understanding? But yeah, I guess there's 4 types of vampires, and the website that has this is absolutely atrocious. And it's not like
It's
here
not
we go.
professionally set up.
no.
That
Looks all right
vampire
on mobile.
website.
MysticInvestigations.com, because that's legit.
I know like 3 people who will be able to spell that.
The human vampire, and I know that, Nikki, when we talked earlier, you mentioned about the mental or the telekinesis or the psychokinetic
Yeah.
portion of it, and I guess it's only available in the human vampire.
Our own brand.
Only that model. There's no other models that carry that.
There's okay.
Then you have the indirect demonic, like Nosferatu.
Mm-hmm.
But
Indirect?
didn't he have?
He was a person.
Oh, okay, he was. All right. Then why is that?
What's
separate?
what's
Well, because
indirect?
Nosferatu, I think, is like the word
Oh,
for
okay.
it.
And then there's the straight up. I mean, the actual real definition of a vampire is a dead person possessed by a demon, and that's why shows and movies like Twilight bother me. It's like, no,
That's a
they
person,
don't give a
yeah.
shit about falling in love. They just want to suck,
Your blood.
and probably other things too. But I don't know. I mean, how?
You just contradicted yourself.
But that's true. That's not.
Doesn't have to be an emotional attachment for that.
I mean,
What
right?
during? Okay, so
Never loved you.
vampires having sex, because we know we're going there. Vampires having sex.
Oh yeah, that was a kind of vampire too, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
A woman just
A
in
breeder.
your dreams, essentially,
Mhm.
raping you.
That's the last article that we're going to talk about. The ghost
The ghost.
poking. Ghost poking.
Ghost poke.
But so vampires having sex. You're
Uh-huh.
going at it. What's stopping them from just like, especially a female vampire goes down on you? Would you trust her?
No.
Take what I can get.
Just like I don't trust my cat to know when they're gonna put their claws out or in. I don't trust anyone else to know when they're putting their teeth in and out.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because they have like retractable teeth,
But
in theory.
in your world, your vampire world, are the teeth always out or are they retractable?
I feel like they wouldn't be able to survive in modern times with teeth always out.
Why not? There's animals that do.
According to Twilight.
Oh no!
I'm
Yes,
glad we have
Lisa?
an official.
Mhm.
My only reference for this, the fangs only come down when they're attracted to blood.
white.
When they want to feed.
So it's almost like an impulse.
Yeah.
It's like a boner.
It's a
Yeah.
boner.
Yeah.
It's a big boner. That's interesting.
And then
Actually,
I've heard
See?
vampires that
See?
suck through their nose. Isn't that a thing? Or they're.
I don't think so.
I feel like I've read about this. I'm gonna have to do some research.
You should just watch Twilight.
Yeah, well,
I've
answer
seen all
your-
of the Twilight. I actually, not to be a hipster, but I did read the entire start of the book series before the first
That makes
movie
you a
came
hipster?
out, and then the last one. I believe the last book came out after the movies came out. But yeah, I remember reading them in like high school and
That makes you
being
a
like,
hipster.
"Oh my god, this is so good!" And then I saw the movie, and I was like, "This ruined like the imagery I had in my head. This is not what I thought any of them
Yeah.
looked like."
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Well, it doesn't help. The acting isn't exactly.
it's not.
Oh, it's
Although
Although
terrible.
I am a huge K-Stu fan now that she's a.
Butch,
I was gonna say that.
carpet muncher.
She's Butch.
She's
Kind of.
come out now.
Oh, officially? I thought she swung both
No.
ways.
I don't know. I think she came out officially, but since she got that she shaved her head and dyed it blonde, I was like,
That's what does it for
Well,
you.
Katy Perry isn't Butch, and she does that.
yeah. But Katy Perry also isn't a lesbian.
That's true.
She's just annoying.
I don't know.
Oh.
She kissed a girl and liked it.
That's how you know she's a lesbian. She wrote a song. She's not a lesbian. She wrote one song about kissing a girl in a bar.
It's kind of like if you got to sit there and profess something over and over again, you're probably not that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really smart. No, you're not. I
You
think
gotta be a little
Right.
bit more Melissa Etheridge for me to be into it.
Wow, that was an SAT
Is
word.
that another Lilith fair type of?
Yes, it
All
is
right,
a
there we
Lilith
go.
Fair type of a comic.
Wow, impressive.
What is it? The unusual traveling
Dark tourism.
dark tourism plug on Netflix.
My sister's a dark tourist.
I would like to be a dark tourist, but I wouldn't go into like Chernobyl like they did because that's
That's
fucking
some crazy
stupid
shit.
as shit.
That was
But they
crazy
go to
shit.
like a bunch of unusual places around the world, and one episode he's like, I'm going to find people who claim they're real vampires
And it
in
was
New Orleans,
weird.
and it was very strange.
No, it's dark tourism, and it's
There's very little
you
context
can only,
to
You
this.
can only stomach about 2 episodes before you're just like, fuck, man, like depressing. Like to go to Chernobyl and have all these empty buildings, and it's like, oh yeah, and then here's this hospital you can go to, and it's
Yeah.
all these kids that have all these weird defects that
Oh.
Yes.
people just dumped off because they didn't want to deal with it and took off.
Mhm.
Like, it's extremely depressing at some level. Like, wow, I can only take so much of it, but
And they swim in like the crater in Russia that's got
Fucking
like a lot
psychos.
of what is it?
radiation.
Radiation in it, and they're just like, yeah. So they have like some vodka, and then they like go swimming, and they're like, don't
people
get too
fishing in
close
it.
to the middle, and they're like, okay, and you're like, you're getting radiation in your body, like don't
hardcore
do that.
radiation.
Yeah,
Like, it's not just you're standing by. You're in the water that's
Yeah,
radiating.
aren't you supposed to only be there for like 30 minutes or
Yeah.
something at a clip?
Mm-hmm. And there's people fishing. Like, oh yeah, look what we got, and they were eating too. They ate the fish too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like,
they do.
okay, well, your season is going to be like one more, and then you're done.
Yeah.
You're going to be dead
I thought that was illegal to do that.
in Russia.
I don't know
Yeah.
what's illegal in Russia at this point in time.
Russia's like Florida.
Yeah,
Okay, we know
It
that,
is.
right?
It's the
I
Florida
thought-
of Europe.
Yeah.
It's the Florida of Europe.
I thought Australia was the Florida of the world, so I guess Russia's the Florida of
Yeah,
Eurasia.
yeah.
I think so. I mean, Australia's pretty crazy, but we kind of know that. Like, they're just batshit crazy. Like, one tooth, backwards hat, I'm just going to go out and wrestle crocodile type of crazy. Where Russia just is Floridian, like, I'm going to take bath salts and eat the phone. Like, that
Russia, I feel like it's just like there's no rule. Like it
Unless
is
you're
a
in a big
lawless
city,
land. Yeah.
It's all
The
it's-
Wild West.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
crazy.
Like Alaska, where it's like you go there because you don't want to be found.
And you probably won't be found.
And you don't, and you're like, why don't you want to be found? And they're like, we don't ask that here.
But we're going to get on to our articles. Unless someone wants to add anything else to this sucky episode.
We need like a theme tune for when we transition to articles.
Come on, Lisa. I know you had a couple more puns that you haven't thrown out yet. No? All right.
I got
all right.
nothing.
So, we're going to talk about Loch Ness.
Oh,
Literally looks like a bag of garbage floating in water.
I'm right here. I can hear you.
Incredible footage shows Loch Ness monster swimming on webcam stream.
Not webcam. Stream was what did it for you.
Yeah.
We know where your interests are.
Wow.
I didn't say I liked it. I
It
laughed at
sounds
it.
like you're into it.
Yeah. I
You
don't
are.
have that quickness she has.
Au
Yeah, I do have that
contraire.
quickness.
Yeah.
I do have that quickness. I'll get that out of the way for you. So.
Your nickname is Zippy.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what she says.
Mhm.
It popped up and down.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to say that.
Now
and-
read the
oh,
article.
it popped up and down and kept doing it.
Uh-huh.
That's a good girl. It kept what?
Doing it.
It kept splashing about.
Kept doing it.
She's a little moist.
She's
Ew.
not.
It was quite.
Aw,
it was quite a
Jen,
size.
No.
You're talking about me. The size of the boat, but it was hard to tell because it was the other side of the loch. Of course it was. It was garbage floating in the water.
Yeah.
It's not the
And-
size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean.
If the boats are rocking, don't come a locking.
Oh, that should be like. I've been to Loch Ness a few years ago, but never saw Nessie then. I didn't know if I believed in her, but this is certainly some Christmas present and quite a surprise. I took quite a few videos, but my phone died. Of course it died. Weren't they?
Your burner phone died?
Yeah, burner phone because they're drug
Always
dealers.
dies.
Drug dealers did this. I don't know what it is. It really is unexplained. It's a fucking bag of garbage that's floating.
I saw something in the water.
Anyways, if you want to read more, it's going to be in the description of the podcast.
Wow, you're really selling that.
When is Lush gonna create a Nessie bath bomb? That's my question.
Hopefully
I was
soon.
thinking the same.
Do you think I could get royalties if I like suggest it and they release it?
Probably not. They'll just steal your idea.
That's fine.
The next one that kind of goes along with the vampires is the 8,000-year-old heads on stakes found in mysterious underwater grave. Sounds very Impalish. Impalish? Can I say Impalish? Impali, there we go. Impali. Just a clip from here. This discovery of a burial containing 8,000-year-old battered human skulls.
Happening to you.
I don't know. 'Cause I really want to cough right now, and I'm avoiding it by going burial. Including two that still have pointed wooden stakes through them. It has left archaeologists
Oh my god.
Archaeologists baffled, according to news studies from Sweden. You okay over there? Oh boy.
Time out. Why do they call it a burial when nothing's buried?
Not anymore, I guess.
Buried underwater.
Yeah, I think it was at some point. It was burial.
Okay.
I'm struggling.
No.
All right. Okay, and this one is actually on midnighthollow.com. You can visit it at www.midnighthollow.com.
What's that
available
website?
on iTunes.
www.midnighthollow.com. And it is apparently a man found an 8mm footage of some dude that got possessed. Did any of you watch it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it was.
Tell me that's real or fake.
It's fake.
Yeah,
it is,
fake.
but it's still freaking creepy. Of course, they couldn't take the 2 seconds to bury the computer that's sitting in the corner.
How did you find that? I did not see that.
To be honest, I'm not sure where the hell I think I found someone posted on Facebook at some level because I'm part of all these weird groups.
I bet you
that
are.
I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Blame it on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know,
And
we
then-
target people like that. So if they're popping up in your feed, it's probably from what you're already looking
Nikki, who works in our social media department.
Hey.
But it's still watching it. Come on, it is pretty freaky. You gotta admit. No, you didn't.
It
think was
is
freaky?
weird. The first thing that kind of like threw me off a little is it looks like he's visibly wearing like effect makeup. from the
That's what I
beginning.
thought too. Immediately, it looked like his face had full contour.
And like the eyes, like that's what you do when it's your first year working in a haunted house. Is you're like black eyes.
Yeah.
Some black around the corner of your mouth, and then like pale everything out, and you're like,
But what about his body? His body's pretty fucked up.
He was very frail.
And he had this weird thing moving in him too. I mean, sure, it's probably FX and whatever.
Yeah, that's what I thought was post editing. They just exaggerated because his rib cage looked weird when that thing was moving.
Mm-hmm.
In it, his rib cage was like anatomically incorrect.
I know. I just thinking about it kind of creeps me out. It was kind of shot like a snuff film too. That's the thing. If it was just like straight footage, but then they'd like cut to him in the corner and then
who
cut to his
edited
editing.
this?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that ruined it right there. But still freaking creepy. And
That's hilarious to do if you're like selling your house, though, is to like create some sort of like haunted video
you get
of
sued
someone
now.
in the house and then like edit it and then like hide it in the attic and leave it for someone to find when you
get
move.
sued because
Oh.
there's people that are suing people because they sold a house that they knew was haunted, and
they
people
didn't
moved
warn
in
them.
and all this fucking weird shit's happening. And they're like, okay, you knew that this place was haunted, and you sold us this house.
Do you think people
Real-
here have that
real
money?
lawsuits
You
going on
have
right
to
now.
disclose that, right?
Yep.
Like you have to disclose if someone died in your house as
What
well.
if no one died?
Right, but you have to disclose that there's weird shit happening.
If okay, well, there's weird shit happening in my house, but no one's dying from it.
That's a whole other episode and a different type of podcast.
Yeah. Do I have to disclose that?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, bleach
'Cause
everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say the weird stains on the wall, on the ceiling is gonna kind of throw it.
I actually have a stain on my ceiling that looks like a vagina.
Can you take photos of
Yeah,
that?
I feel like I've mentioned this before, and I definitely do have to take pictures of it.
We'll put that in the podcast, so enjoy that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna end with this lovely article that we've really
Speaking of vaginas.
Speaking of, well, actually not really, but well, I guess.
Yeah, they're all women.
Does a ghost really have a vagina? I mean, does it?
Well, it's a vagina. It's a woman.
But there's nothing there.
Just getting air slammed by some dude ghost, right?
Air slam?
Air slammed.
Sounds like a movie that like Michael Jordan would be in.
Professionals.
We've talked about, I don't think any of you were for that one. It was the Olympians that were accosted in their room by ghost dicks.
No.
Yep, that was second episode, I believe. First or second episode. And that was pretty freaking hilarious. And then we started digging up other stuff about that. And one of them was Bobby Brown.
What do you mean that they were accosted by ghost dicks?
Yeah, they were complaining that at night the covers would come off and they would be sexually harassed or sexually accosted.
Dicks attached to a ghost human.
Or were they like disembodied dicks?
I think they were a little bit of both.
Floating
Like,
dicks.
Why do they know what dicks assaulting them feels like in the first place? That they were so easily able to be like, no, that was a dick.
I think they're surmising.
Sodomizing.
Yes, thank you. That's the word.
The S on that for a long time too.
So if
Sodomizing.
you want to find out more about that, that's the episode 2. That'll be on www.midnighthollow.com. Shameless plug.
Now available on iTunes.
It is actually.
Yeah.
Rate us and review us.
Yes,
so
we're on
that people
iTunes.
can
we're
see
on
us.
Podbean,
Hit
and
subscribe.
we did not get approved for Spotify.
We
No.
didn't.
Well,
I'm gonna make a
I don't know
call.
if we don't have enough content or what, but something happened and it took them like a month and I got something back saying, we apologize. You can resubmit your podcast, but at this time something. And I'm like,
I have a question. Do we have an explicit warning on iTunes?
yes,
we
have
I
to.
didn't know that.
You drop an F-bomb, you have to have it on it.
I'm going to email and be like, as a Spotify premium paying customer, I'd like some more supernatural podcasts with
Minute Hall.
explicit humor on there. Why
So,
don't you
Minute
have
Hall.
any of these?
Specifically,
I happen to know one that's great on iTunes, but I can never find it on here.
It's just the F-bomb, though? That's what sets it off?
I don't know. Maybe the
Not all
sodomy.
the
The
talk-
subject matter. And
not all the talk about penises.
Yeah,
I'm sure they don't
penises,
sit there and go, I wonder what they're talking about. They probably scan through them, like, or they probably have something like, what is it, Dragon Snap? Or
Dragon snap.
Dragon Snatch?
That sounds like a beautiful flower.
no, it's the thing where it goes through and it can change voice into text, Dragon Speak or something. I forget what it's called. That's what YouTube uses. Goes through videos, and if they have like hate speech or bomb making or whatever, it ends up getting reviewed or pulled. So I'm sure that's what they do.
Wow.
They
Use
tell you.
closed captions on our YouTube videos.
Oh my god, I couldn't even imagine. Especially the
I wanna do Can I do it? I want to
Why
do
did I
it because
even
I think
try
it'd be hilarious.
It would be freaking hilarious. So thank you, Nikki, for this article.
You're welcome.
2 women came out about their sexual experiences with ghosts, but they're not the first to claim they've gotten intimate with the paranormal. As the winter solstice draws near, I'm glad that they said that instead of fucking Christmas. That's nice.
Yule.
The winter solstice draws near, and the curtain between the mortal realm and the spirit realm. But no, that's not winter solstice, you dumbass. Why am I reading this?
You're the only
Because
one
they have sex with ghosts. Read the article.
Anyway, spirit world grows thin. No, that's Halloween. That's the...
Maybe it's every solstice, and we
It's
just
not
didn't
every
know.
solstice.
And every equinox.
No. The winter solstice is actually... The reason that even exists is because it's the pagan belief that the goddess gives birth to the god. That is the winter solstice. It's the shortest day of the year because the god dies on Halloween. And through that is the dark time. On winter solstice, he is reborn.
And he
So
gets
that's-
his soul back.
I feel bad he has a
on the
winter birthday.
solstice.
True.
No
but
good
the whole
parties.
weird thing is that
I
he
have a
grows up
winter
and he has
birthday.
sex with the goddess.
Mm-hmm.
And then she becomes impregnated. He dies and she gives birth to him again.
So, like I
So he
said-
bangs his mom every time?
Bangs his mom.
It's really weird.
Yep. So I'll move on from that.
Okay.
In 2017, a woman named, Scion, isn't that a
Yeah.
car? Scion Jameson told The Sun that she had a sexual encounter with a handsome ghost.
He's handsome.
Handsome. Huh?
Would she admit if it looked like freaking Fat Albert or something?
It's a ghost. No face if you wanted to.
That's true.
Then people might think she's crazy, though.
Yeah.
Can you put a bag over a
Because
ghost?
who would get with somebody with no face?
with a handsome ghost in a remote Welsh cottage. Ooh. Following a traumatic breakup with her boyfriend. I'm sure wine and weed wasn't involved there. Not at all.
Welsh.
At first...
Welsh cottage.
Welsh.
Yeah.
Welsh.
I love their grape juice.
It's actually really good. At first, he visited her in a series of erotic dreams that materialized beside her. During the lovemaking, I sensed all kinds of things about him. His name was Robert, and he lived over 100 years ago.
This sounds like the Outlander. This sounds like Outlander.
Really?
Like a little bit, yeah.
You think he's coming back and banging women?
Probably. It's a time warp, isn't it? It's the whole thing.
Is his name Robert?
I don't remember.
But it is Scottish.
Yeah, and she goes with her husband on like their honeymoon to Scotland, and then she goes back in time and starts boning.
I think we broke what happened. She was watching the Outlander, and this is what came out.
She fell asleep watching Outlander and had this dream and was like, yes.
And the Sun bought it.
Yeah.
We're on broadly.vice.com. I don't even know what the hell that is.
You don't know what Vice is?
Vice I do, but
yeah.
Broadly?
Yeah, it's like
Isn't
slightly more feminist.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
sexist.
When was this article written?
It's more feminist than they use the word broad.
Yes. December 8th, 2017.
Okay.
So his body was soft and light. Even when he moved on top of me, pressing down, he felt almost weightless. It was very strange, but the sex was amazing.
How is it amazing if it was soft? Like, how did it
Well,
even
sometimes,
happen?
like, it's soft.
It's soft.
There's 3 stages of sex. There's making love, there's sex, and there's fucking.
I meant the actual
there's a
member.
middle.
The
Oh, yeah,
member.
there's a middle ground. A little bit of both, a little hair pulling and kissing. Shortly after... Anyways.
And then you include your partner.
Too much. It's too much.
Shortly after, a woman named Amethyst.
Oh my god, it's the alien.
Oh my god. Her name is Amethyst Realm. Really?
What was the other
I
one?
call bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Jameson. If Jameson's your last name,
Realm.
you're being filmed for something.
You're thinking of Jenna
Yes,
Jameson.
I am.
Jenna Jameson. Okay, shortly after, a woman named Amethyst Realm appeared on the British daytime television show This Morning. That's a great name.
That's a great thing to discuss bright and early in the morning.
Yeah, I got boned by a ghost. Claiming that she began having sex with ghosts in her home and has not had since with a human being since. Wow, this is
Woo!
Vice.com, huh?
Yeah.
Editing's a lost art.
Ghosts in Goss.
Lost with tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis.
I'm not sure if this is how the article's written or how you're reading
right.
it.
No, this is exactly how it reads. Claiming that she began having sex with ghosts in her home and has not had since with a human being since.
Okay.
That sounds like a
Sounds like
rap.
something I would write. Her first erotic encounter with the ghost occurred 10 years ago, while she was still in a relationship with her mortal fiancé. I'm glad that they have to define this. Mortal fiancé. As can occur with affairs, Realm was caught mid-coitus, when her husband-to-be returned early one day from a trip away. He saw the shape of a man through the spare room window, she explained. Betrayed, Realm's fiancé broke up with her, and she and the ghost then decided to fuck everywhere in the house. Once my fiancé had left, we had sex everywhere, but always within the building.
Well, she sounded real remorseful.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like that is like a weird cover story she can't let go of. Like, she actually did cheat. And he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And she's like, it was a ghost. It just took the shape because of the blanket. And then,
Right.
like,
just
still
a
to this
pasty
day, is
dude.
like, I still haven't had sex with anyone else. Just ghosts.
It's some pasty
Because
dude
it
in a
was a
white shirt.
ghost. Yeah. I swear.
And
Like,
then she
I think that's what it
simultaneously
happened.
like, how can I make money off of
Right.
this?
Get my 10 seconds. Well,
also.
Well, also a reference to
phrasing.
your college days.
yeah. Hello, Zippy. Let's see. They fucked all over. Here we go.
But only in the building.
Only in the building. Until the entity started to appear less, he got bored of her.
Uh-huh.
And Realm ended the interdimensional affair.
She literally got ghosted.
Poor Realm. After that, Realm began to have regular sex with a variety of ghosts because, everyone finds them all
Ghost
over the place.
hussy.
Each as distinct in style and feel than any human mate might be. I've got no interest in men now, she proclaimed. Well, isn't it a ghost man? Wouldn't that be a men anyways?
Might be ghost pegging.
We don't know what they identify
Strap on?
as.
So can ghosts strap on?
I guess.
Why not?
Why not? No.
A ghost dildo? Ghost batteries? Anyone? Okay. So paranormal sex has been a subject of fascination for centuries across culture, from Japanese vampire Yuka Ono. Wait, wasn't that
Yoko.
what's his head?
Yoko.
Yoko Ono. Wasn't that what's his head's wife?
Yeah.
John Lennon's wife.
That's who it was. Who is said to sleep with men and kill them. Oh, wonderful.
Oh, wow. It does sound like her. Like,
And actually, this is part of the vampire lore. To Lamia, the Grecian shapeshifter who lures and murders men. That's actually part of the... I was trying to tell you where it went from...
labia.
Labia?
Is that her name?
Labia?
Labia?
No. To Lilith to where is now. This is part of the transition. Merlin himself had a demonic father, because, he existed.
Yeah.
And myths abound of sexual spirits being such as the Why is my voice changing?
I don't know.
Being such as a half-fairy
Radio voice, go.
Maluzana, and the iconic Lilith, who
Yeah.
fucks men in order to birth demons.
Ooh.
Just straight up demons.
Just fuck anything in between. We're just going straight to the demons.
Girls be crazy.
The fascination clearly... Oh, here we go. This is some good stuff now. The fascination clearly has persisted in the modern age beyond Seons and Realms accounts. Countless people, including pop star Keisha, that was the other one I forgot about.
Kesha.
Same thing.
Okay.
Have
No.
reported such
Fine. Sure.
Key,
Cat.
ching,
Yeah.
ka, have reported such experiences. Through history, there have been people who claim to have consensual, I'm glad they put that in there, consensual sexual intercourse with human spirits, as well as many that claim to have been forced into sexual intercourse by an entity. This is usually called spectrophilia.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's got its own name.
It's got its own name.
You know what it is? It's somebody that's like really rapey and really good at like lying.
Leaving really fast.
Yes, it's just some really rapey dude. And
Or
he's just
they're
like,
giving
I'm a
them-
ghost.
Like a hit and run.
Get some serious, like,
Sorry.
they got some serious rape drugs or something. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you're a ghost. Oh my God.
You're a ghost.
It's really Bill Cosby.
I was just going to say, it's like Bill Cosby, pound cake. Type of stuff. This is usually called Spectrophilia, says Jason Hawes. Oh, get the fuck out of here, Jason Hawes, founder of Atlantic Paranormal, TAPS. Everyone knows them.
Taps?
Taps?
Ghost Hunters.
Oh, taps.
Oh.
Not Pap Spears. Spears.
Tap Spears.
That sounds
Ah!
horrendous.
All right, this article goes on for quite some time, but we're going to make it through it. People who have sex with ghosts experience both positive and negative encounters, explains Lloyd Arbark, and director of the Office of the Paranormal Investigators, the president of the Forever Family Foundation.
Forever family.
I'm just going to continue. An organization dedicated to understanding the afterlife.
This long.
Oh, Forever Family Foundation is an organization dedicated to understanding the afterlife?
No. Nope.
Whatever.
Forever family.
Denied.
That's a way to get more money. In his experience, most of these reports tend to be bad, though he concedes that they may be because people are less likely to call paranormal authorities after a pleasant encounter. Just go on Tinder or Yelp. The reason we hear about the...
Looking
I don't know
for
why
a
Yelp,
ghost.
but...
Yelp, 10 out of 10. Would date again.
The reason we hear about the negative ones mainly because people are calling for help, Auberg says. He tends to hear of joyous spirit fucking.
Joyous?
In casual
Joyous.
circumstance like parties. So he's talking about joyous spirit fucking, but he's called the Forever Family Foundation.
Family.
Somehow that doesn't like match. It's like saying
the word family shouldn't be in there.
Yeah, that is. If one experience is harmful or unwanted sexual advances from ghosts, the solution is an encouraging simple. The living have more power physically than the dead would ever have. So this guy is taken from this guy, but this article is written terribly. I'm reading it wrong, which is probably the latter. Auerbach, in order to deflect such unwanted advances, one need only visualize a force field surrounding them to, oh my freaking God, to energetically deflect the predatory phantom. Wow, that was one hell of a sentence to read.
Do it again in your
Auerbach?
radio voice or your broadcaster's voice.
In order to deflect such unwanted advances, one need only visualize a force field surrounding them to energetically deflect the predatorily phantom. What the? I can't read that.
Okay.
All right, so the phenomenon.
Phenomena.
Of ghost sex is easy to dismiss and hard to prove. Both experts agree but Oldbrock notes that, I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong.
Aardvark.
I'm going crazy here. Notes that it does have one obvious benefit. If there are a bunch of ghosts that are trying to have sex with living people, he says, at least it's safe sex.
That's funny.
Unless you catch that, like, ghost herp.
Ghost.
The herp-a-derp.
You're like,
Little
don't you
ghost
see this
herp-a-derp.
right here? And they're like, no. And you're like, 'cause ghosts.
And there you go, people. People or women are, none of them seem to be in America.
No.
So, wait,
Were any of them?
Kesha.
Kasha.
Isn't that a vegan meal? Quiche? Oh, it's quiche.
Quiche.
Then
Not
that's not
vegan.
vegan. And
That's-
it's spelled with a Q.
Yeah.
Close enough. There you go. Women are. So, Nikki and Lisa, you gonna try a little
No.
ghost sex tonight?
Were any of them guys? Were any of them
Not
guys?
in that one.
No?
No, Bobby Brown's the only one that I've seen that. Well, there was the Olympic dude that was getting dick accosted. Dick ghost accosted. Ghost dick accosted. That's it.
Yeah.
So he was feeling the dick.
What Olympic dude? Like recently?
I think it was the last Olympics.
Was it Michael
Winter
Phelps?
These were skiers.
Cheers.
Skiers. Well, I'll have that article in www.midnighthollow.com. So as we wrap
Take a
up here,
sip every single time.
we wrap up
We
here.
plug
Lisa,
this
do you have
in.
anything to add? You're awful
No.
quiet today.
I am.
I was really hoping you're going to throw out all the puns that you were throwing at me the other day, but that didn't happen, did it?
Yeah, it's an off day. Sorry.
That's
I'll work
okay.
on them for next time.
All right, we got to warm you up before you
Ew.
get in here.
No, we don't.
We're gonna not do that.
Thank you, Nikki.
You're welcome. We'll just have some sugar
Yeah.
next time.
Just
Okay.
bring
Just
a
a
bunch
little
of
sugar.
pixie
Just a little
sticks. I'll just down like 8 pixie sticks. It'll be fine.
That will be hilarious.
You'd be
Yeah,
sounding
well-
like me. Nikki, anything to add to this lovely podcast?
I feel as though I've contributed enough, and it's unfair of you to keep expecting more of me.
That's just how I like to end it, in case you wanted to add something.
No, but I want to start captioning our videos.
That would be pretty funny.
I'll get on that, and that Midnight Hollow drinking game. You
Mhm.
gotta look out for that, because I'll be putting that together.
Oh, hell yeah.
And don't sue us.
Videos?
What? No, just based on the podcast, so we're gonna make a drinking game.
The sound.
Oh,
Put the
okay,
sound
yeah.
on YouTube.
You said captioning videos, and I'm like,
So it'll literally bleed.
No, no
Wait a
CC in
minute.
here.
Can you imagine if
Wait a
if
minute.
we were recording this?
I think it would
Who
be
wants to watch
amazing.
this?
Although I am like half asleep, so I would be very boring. But
Hey, noob. What did you think?
it was fun.
Good.
Good time.
You did a good job. You got anything to add?
No.
No puns that you forgot to.
No
'Cause
puns.
That's usually when Nikki throws out her last pun.
Last
That's-
nail in the coffin.
There you go.
Oh. So can't even top that. No.
No?
Mm-mm.
All right, well, just don't be a prick.
Yeah, something for
Oh,
you to
wait.
sink your teeth
Don't
into.
be a prick.
sorry.
She's all quiet. Then at the end, she's fucking blowing horns all over the place.
Blowing horns.
Ghost horns. All right, so thank you for listening to the season Dropping the Deuce,
Oh.
episode 1. Lisa, do you want to end this for us?
If you can't or choose not to swallow, because you have that option,
True.
you might as well Midnight Hollow.
Thank you very much. That was fantastic. That was fantastic. That was fantastic.